A new energy, a fresh hum on every Nigerian horizon. Over the last 24 months, an astonishing sum, more than 2 trillion naira, has transitioned from mere blueprints and budget lines into tangible concrete, gleaming steel, and resilient asphalt. And no, that's not a typo. We're talking 2 trillion, with a capital T. Roads that once seemed to have a personal vendetta against your car's suspension are now becoming smooth, almost runway-like stretches. Bridges that used to buckle and disappear with the first heavy rains. They're not just rising again, they're standing stronger than ever. And those power plants we only ever saw as optimistic sketches in government slideshows, they're actually humming, hitting record output levels. Today, we're taking you on a rapid-fire, cross-country hop. 9 states in 9 minutes, from the vibrant Atlantic shoreline all the way to the dusty Sahel. We're here to peel back the layers and show you precisely how the renewed hope agenda is, quite literally, quietly rewiring Africa's largest economy, piece by tangible piece. Section 1. The Coastal Game Changer. First stop, let's hit the coast. Lagos, specifically. Remember all the talk about the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway? It's no longer just a glossy rendering on a campaign flyer. The first 30 kilometers are already a concrete reality, stretching out impressively. When this colossal project is finally complete, this 700-kilometer, 6-lane corridor won't just connect 9 coastal states: Lagos, Ogun, Ondo, Delta, Bayelsa, Rivers, Akwa Ibom, and Cross River. It's set to slash freight time by a remarkable 40%, effectively shrinking distances and boosting efficiency across the board. Imagine the possibilities. It'll unlock tourism routes that have been largely ignored, lying dormant since independence, showcasing Nigeria's stunning coastline to the world. The price tag? A hefty 15 trillion naira. But here's the real kicker, the part that makes economists sit up. Every single kilometer built is projected to generate 3 times that amount in trade, property value appreciation, and a surge of new businesses within a decade. If you've ever endured the soul-crushing crawl of Lagos traffic heading towards the Seine border, just picture slicing that agony in half, gaining back 2 full working days every single month. Those aren't just hopeful projections. Those are the very real, very ambitious numbers the Ministry of Works is banking on, transforming daily commutes and national commerce simultaneously. Section 2. The old expressway that got a new heartbeat. Now, let's shift our gaze a bit inland, away from the salty air, and look at a familiar artery, the Lagos-Ibadan expressway. It's now pushing past 90% completion, a truly remarkable transformation. What used to be a 3-hour, white-knuckle nightmare is now regularly clocking in at a smooth 90 minutes on a good day. It's not just about speed, though. Freight trucks, which had practically abandoned this critical corridor due to its abysmal condition, are now returning in droves. Logistics firms are reporting a nearly 20% drop in transport costs per container, a significant saving that trickles down through the supply chain. The official ribbon-cutting ceremony, that's slated for early 2026. But honestly, drivers don't need a ceremony to feel the difference. They're already experiencing it. Fewer bone-jarring potholes, a noticeable reduction in hospital visits for spinal pain caused by rough roads, and perhaps most importantly, more precious time with family on those Friday evenings. It's a testament to how infrastructure isn't just about movement, it's about quality of life. Section 3. The North-South Artery. Alright, let's take to the skies and fly north, directly over the Abuja Kano dual carriageway, the very artery that breathes life and commerce into the northern states. Its rehabilitation is nearly finished, and it's not just about smoother rides. The strategic installation of safety barriers has dramatically cut down on nighttime accidents, making journeys safer for everyone. Haulage unions, who know these roads better than anyone, are reporting a solid 25% reduction in travel time. What does that mean for you and me? it means fresher, more affordable tomatoes making their way to Kano markets, and crucial, cheaper fertilizer moving back down south to boost agricultural yields. This might not sound glamorous, I'll grant you, but when a truck driver can complete the epic Lagos-Kano journey in under 30 hours instead of the grueling 40 it once took, that ripple effect shows up directly on your plate of jollof rice. Its efficiency transforming staple foods, making life a little bit easier, a little bit more affordable. Section 4. The bridges that rewrite local economies. It's not just the grand expressways, sometimes it's the smaller, seemingly unassuming bridges that make the biggest difference. Take the Shendam Bridge in Plateau State, for instance. What used to necessitate a frustrating 45-minute detour during the rainy season is now a mere 60-second cruise. Think about that for a moment. In Adamawa, the newly commissioned Jamaica Bridge is saving commuters an astonishing 2 hours daily, effectively giving them back precious time while simultaneously boosting cross-border trade with neighboring Cameroon. Now, multiply those saved hours by 365 days a year, and suddenly you're looking at thousands of extra trading hours annually. That's enough time and economic activity to keep children in school, pursuing an education, rather than out hawking goods on the roadside just to make ends meet. These aren't just concrete structures, they're lifelines, connecting communities and fostering economic vitality. Section 5. Power, the quiet revolution. Roads, fantastic as they are only half the story. The other, equally critical piece of the puzzle is power. You might have missed the headline, but power generation just hit fresh records in 2025. This isn't accidental. It's a direct result of the National Integrated Electricity Policy, a visionary framework that has successfully unlocked an incredible $122 billion in commitments. The most significant milestone: output crossed the 5,500 megawatt mark for the first time ever this February. Now, let's be real. This still won't magically give you 24-hour uninterrupted light in every corner of Ikorodu overnight. But the impact is profound nonetheless. Factories in Ogun State are now confidently running 3 shifts instead of 2, significantly boosting productivity and employment. And for residents, disco bills in places like Kaduna are beginning to reflect fewer costly diesel top-ups for generators. What's more, the groundbreaking Electricity Act also hands states the keys to their own grids, decentralizing control and fostering local solutions. Lagos and Edo are already trailblazing, licensing mini-grids. This means your cousin's barbershop might finally ditch that noisy, temperamental generator's rasp, embracing a more reliable, cleaner power source. It's a quiet revolution, but its hum is growing louder every day. Section 6. The digital spine. If roads are about moving yams and physical goods, then fiber optic cables are about moving ideas, data, and opportunities at the speed of light. A proposed $2 billion national fiber rollout is set to lay down an incredible 90,000 kilometers of optic cable. That's enough to circle the Earth twice. Pilot towns, strategically chosen, are already clocking internet speeds of 500 megabits per second. To put that into perspective, that's a staggering 10 times the average speed you'd find in Johannesburg. What does this mean in practical terms? It means call centers in Ibadan can operate with global efficiency, fintech hubs in Yaba can innovate without connectivity bottlenecks, and even secondary schools in remote Katsina are tasting the sweet freedom of uninterrupted Zoom classes, finally banishing the dreaded spinning wheel of doom. This isn't just about faster downloads. It's about democratizing access to information, education, and global markets, fundamentally reshaping Nigeria's digital landscape. Section 7. Jobs in the mix. Now, for arguably the best part of this massive spending spree, the jobs. Thanks to smart local content rules, over 70% of contractors involved in the monumental Coastal Highway project are proudly Nigerian firms. Furthermore, the Ministry of Works isn't just encouraging. It's insisting that at least 40% of the labor force be hired locally. Conservative estimates suggest that a staggering 250,000 direct jobs have been created since May 2023 alone, spanning everything from flagmen directing traffic to highly skilled quantity surveyors managing budgets. But the impact doesn't stop there. Think about the farmer who supplies fresh agbalumo to the bustling construction camps, or the diligent cobbler repairing workers' boots day in and day out. When you account for these indirect beneficiaries, you're looking at close to 500,000 livelihoods touched, sustained, and improved. It's a powerful multiplier effect, turning infrastructure investment into tangible economic security for countless families. Section 8. Agriculture riding on asphalt. Up north, new feeder roads are literally turning isolated farms into direct pipelines to modern supermarkets. Consider the Sokoto-Zamfara-Katsina corridor, which was once a dusty, bumpy trap for perishable goods like tomatoes. Now, trucks can reach the Dangote tomato processing plant in Kano efficiently, often before the delicate fruit even has a chance to bruise. This dramatically reduces post-harvest losses, a perennial challenge for Nigerian farmers. Meanwhile, the revitalized Kano River project is a game-changer, set to irrigate an impressive 12,000 hectares. This crucial intervention cushions farmers against the unpredictable mood swings of the Sahelian climate, ensuring more consistent yields. The tangible result: food inflation, a persistent headache for many, dipped for 2 straight months this year, the first time we've seen such a positive trend since 2018. It's a clear example of how improved infrastructure directly translates into greater food security and a more stable economy. Section 9. Healthcare that finds you. Infrastructure isn't solely about concrete and steel. It's also about building human capacity and access to vital services. Take the National Health Fellows Program, for instance. This incredible initiative has strategically posted young, dedicated doctors to all 774 local government areas across the nation. The impact is already being felt. Maternal mortality rates are steadily ticking downwards in Jigawa, offering renewed hope for mothers and families. And in Ondo, Lassa fever outbreaks, which once spiraled into months-long crises, are now being contained effectively within weeks. Why the improvement? Because when roads are passable and power is reliable, essential medical equipment like oxygen concentrators keep humming without interruption. Crucially, vaccines can reach even the most rural clinics before their ice packs melt, ensuring life-saving immunizations are delivered effectively. It's a holistic approach, where physical infrastructure directly supports the delivery of essential human services. Section 10. Maintenance, the final frontier. Of course, we need to address the elephant in the room, don't we? Maintenance. Nigeria, let's be honest, has often earned a black belt in commissioning grand projects and, regrettably, a PhD in letting them slowly rot away. But this administration claims it's different. They're ring-fencing 1% of the construction value annually specifically for upkeep, with these funds paid into an escrow account managed by the Sovereign Wealth Authority. If that promise holds true, if this commitment to sustained maintenance is genuinely upheld, then the magnificent coastal highway might actually still look fresh and functional when today's toddlers are proudly collecting their university certificates. This isn't just about preserving assets. It's about breaking a cycle and building a legacy that truly endures. Section 11. Security boost. Better infrastructure isn't just about commerce and convenience. It's a powerful tool for national security. Improved roads dramatically shorten response times for critical security operations. The Army, for example, recently leveraged the new sections of the East-West Road to rapidly move personnel to Nembi within an hour after a militia attack. A journey that previously would have taken a grueling 3 hours. Meanwhile, the Sokoto-Badagry superhighway is proving invaluable, helping Operation Swift Response intercept armed smugglers with greater efficiency. It's clear. Infrastructure and security are now dancing together again, in a much more coordinated rhythm. And that improved beat is beginning to show, not least in the revived, bustling night markets of the South-South, where people feel safer to gather and trade. Section 12. The Money Map. So you might be asking, how on earth are we funding all of this without resorting to auctioning off national treasures like the National Theatre? It's a clever cocktail of funding mechanisms. Firstly, the fuel subsidy removal, a tough but necessary decision, freed up a substantial 4 trillion naira. Secondly, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPC, remittance to the Federation account is, for the first time in a long while, becoming predictable, providing a more stable revenue stream. Then there are the innovative concession deals, which allow private firms to build these massive projects now, taking on the initial financial burden, and then collect tolls or user fees later. This model transfers significant delivery risk to investors. And it's working. Foreign direct investment, FDI, has seen a remarkable rebound, surging from a modest $22 million in Q1 2023 to an impressive $191 million in Q1 2024, a clear sign of renewed investor confidence. Critics, of course, are quick to label some of this as borrowing by another name. However, the Ministry of Works counters that these concession assets remain firmly on the sovereign books, while the risks associated with project delivery are skillfully transferred to the private investors. Only time and rigorous audits will truly tell the full story of this ambitious financial strategy. What this means for you. Let's bring it home, right to your doorstep. What does all this mean for the average Nigerian? If you're an entrepreneur selling shoes on Instagram, cheaper, more efficient shipping means you can confidently promise same-day delivery from Lagos all the way to Abuja without having to inflate your prices. If you're a farmer cultivating rice in Ebony, those new feeder roads aren't just pathways. They're lifelines that dramatically slash post-harvest losses, potentially pushing your profit margins from a modest 15% to a more robust 30%. And if you're currently on the job hunt, here's a hopeful statistic. 440 ongoing projects nationwide translate into thousands of weekly job openings. Opportunities that simply didn't exist just 2 short years ago. This isn't abstract economic policy. It's direct, tangible impact on your daily life, your business, and your family's future. Across the length and breadth of Nigeria, the dominant sound you hear is no longer just the weary cough of generators or the desperate gasp of tires troubling through craters. Instead, it's a symphony of progress. The rhythmic thud of pile drivers, the smooth rumble of asphalt layers, the confident whirring of turbine blades, and the precise click of fiber splicers. All these sounds are syncing into one powerful national chorus. Yes, the renewed hope agenda still has formidable mountains to climb. Challenges like foreign exchange volatility, ensuring timely contractor payments, and of course, the ever-present risk of shortcuts and corruption. Yet, the math, as they say, is stubborn and undeniable. 2.2 trillion naira already poured into projects, thousands of kilometers completed or significantly upgraded, record megawatts achieved in power generation, and fiber kilometers racing ahead at an incredible pace. If this momentum holds, if the focus remains sharp, then the Nigeria of 2030 will move goods, data, and people faster and more efficiently than this generation has ever witnessed. So keep your eyes on these sites, keep the government's feet to the fire with your expectations, and maybe, just maybe, your future road trip from Calabar to Lagos will feel less like a punishing ordeal and more like a genuinely pleasant coastal cruise. Tell us what you think in the comments section below, and please do not forget to subscribe for more.